Yo, 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 welcome on in. You might hear my roommates upstairs arguing and drilling and stuff. They are customizing some stereo equipment. And on that note, we're going to play the opening theme song, and then we're going to get to making a necklace for a friend. I won't tell you the friend's name, and I won't tell you the deities and energies I'm working with outside of my own on this. Just because that's kind of personal, and I don't really want to share that because it might ruin what I'm doing. But if you can recognize the frequency and the items that I'm working with, feel free to let me know if you think you know who I'm working with. On that note, we're going to start with a Jacko song and then get into it. Oh, we can go ahead and turn that back up a little bit. Oh, and I need to bring up YouTube chat, so let's do that. I have no moderators. If two people do start chatting, I need to make sure I fucking in there. Did I not go live? What's up? Did I not go live? I don't know, we'll go to chat. If that doesn't work, we'll fucking load the chat on both. You know, so I said fucking the first 30 minutes of it. Oh, I feel like we should put that in plastic. We'll have something that's small. Alright. Well, we're gonna look around. We can do that last. So, first of all, I'm gonna make the emblem. Yeah, we should go first. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Next. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the music. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit because I got some copyright free vibration going. If you can guess the deity of the vibration, feel free. But I will not tell you what I'm doing, what my intent is. who I'm working with, and who I made it for. You can guess all this stuff, but I will not confirm if you're right or wrong. And I'm willing to do this on a live stream to show you my process and how I do this, but not when I'm making something with this kind of a personal connection. Unless it's for you and you commission it and you want it done that way, then I'll do it. But anything I do at a personal level, I will not show, and any of my rituals, I will not fully show you how I do, unless it's like from an example standpoint, and then I won't be using this personal of a setup. But guess what? We're streaming right now, and I don't even have my camera open, guys. But hey, opening with a black screen is really fitting for what I'm doing right now tonight. I've been doing a lot lately. I'll show you some of the stuff I've been working on that I'm willing to show. I made myself a fairy offering bowl. It's kind of like a fairy garden, but I don't have anything living in it intentionally. I'm gonna. It's a seasonal garden, so I'm gonna swap it out with appropriate items for every season, and then let my relationship with the fae build, and then see if there's some risque items that I know some fae like and some don't, and see if I can use those, like cannabis. But we're not gonna try that right off the bat. I'm just trying to build a relationship with it. I'll show you some of the things I'm working on. I got a cool piece of elm over here I'm going to make a spirit wand with. We're going to be using that in ghost hunts in the future. We got some cool stuff in the works. I'll show you my clearing broom, which is almost done. I need to add a couple more stones to it. What else are we going to show off today? This is what we're working with here. This is going to become the overall pendant piece of the necklace. In fact, I was going to preserve this, but I want her to put something in it herself. And just take this for the temporary sweetness that okay, we got this. We got this. We know exactly what we're doing. So for the first part, we're going to make the overall pendant. This is a personal intent item for a friend. Nothing I make is just jewelry or trinkets. It's always going to have some kind of blessing or intention put into it, or whatever whatever it is. You can feel free to commission me in my email in the drrezzifings@gmail.com. I have the links posted. You like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, all that fun jazz while we're doing this, But if you want your own piece of my own stuff, it will be handmade or individually bought parts that I piece together and put my own intent into. However you want to set that up, you'll let me know about your intent, all that. Prices, I don't have a base price to give you because it's not just the cost of material, art, and time like normal stuff. What I'm doing is all going to be blessed or enchanted in some way. So it requires my own karma and energy, and the karma and energy of those we work with. If they have that, it could be something that doesn't have that or is already beyond that. But that's the more powerful intent and powerful entities you wish to have imbued into this, the more expensive it will be. Specifically, stuff like Archangel or Zodiac talismans, because I have to do those specifically at certain fucking moon phases and stuff for that house. This one is not that kind of angel, if you're getting my drift. It's an angel. I recognize them as angels, especially this one. I actually kind of have a deep respect for the deity that we're working with right now. Even though I don't really know them that well, I really, really respect them. And we're going to put a headless gummy bear, red gummy bear that I bit the head off in the middle here. This isn't a permanent piece, but I wanted to put the red in the middle for the intent and magic and stuff, and I thought that was cool. And I'll let the person I'm gifting this to, this is part of her Sanheim present. The person I'm gifting this to, I will let her determine what centerpiece should be in this. Her and, the deity, goddess, whatever you want to call her that we're working with. I will give you that much of a clue. That's all I'm saying on that, though. Oh, and I haven't even played the music. We need the frequency to go. I usually, again, this is one thing I also do. I will also cleanse my area and then open the energies to my guides, and then the frequency of whatever deity, energy, spirit, whatever we're working with when we do this. So if you recognize the frequency, this will be a dead giveaway. If you recognize the color scheme and the frequency, pretty much dead giveaway. Won't tell you what the intent is, who I'm making it for, though. This is not a bad thing, trust me. This is what I'm making here is coming from a place with nothing but love and light. But the kind of light that's been forged in the dark. And you don't turn your back on the dark once you have that. You realize that the dark is also something you walk with. And those of you getting into this or watching the ghost hunting stuff and just curious and think that negative energies are bad, blah, 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 you really need to do deeper understanding of this stuff. And when you see my ghost hunting channel and you see the complaints, we're going to get hate and complaints from both the esoteric and the non-believers and everybody pretty much in between. You see what I'm about to do with this shit. All I can say is Sam and Kobe, send Sam to me. I have some things he needs to learn. But I am not a fucking dark wizard in any way. Oh, okay, in some ways, but not in like an evil or like bad way. Everything I do is love, light, comes from the heart for healing, understanding, empowerment, all that fun jazz. This is gonna be sick. By the way, I'm already like super impressed with that. It's that gummy bear don't melt. She can use it if she wants, but I like the idea of putting it in there. But it's a temporary. I want her to put something red in there that she will feel will fit the overall theme of it the best, you know. So where do we want to add the jewels and how? That is a good question. I don't really know what I want to do with that. Go ahead and get some clear string cut because I was going to use metal for this. I don't know if I should use metal or clear string. I like clear string. Leather feather, nah, I think it's kind of cheesy on this. I really don't know. I feel like it's cheesy. If I feel like it's cheesy, then yeah, it's definitely cheesy. If I'm mumbling and not talking very well, my mouth's a little dry. I've been doing a lot of stuff today. Not gonna get into a lot of personal deeds, but you know, we've had a door open for us that may or may not be a good or bad thing. I'm taking it as a good thing now. We'll see how that goes. But let's just say I'm taking my leap of faith, and I am trusting the universe to have my back, and we're doing this. Might not be a full-time gig right off the bat, and you might see some of my numbers inflated. I don't do that to try to just cheat the system. I just don't have a lot of connections, know-how, and followers, so I'm trying to just put my stuff into the algorithm, get it moving in the algorithm in any way I can. And I don't think what that was against TOS. We'll find out in the future. But if anybody thinks I'm doing that to just cheat the system, no. I'm just trying to push the algo a little bit before I can really start working this stuff. But yes, if you like what I do, schedule some readings. I will do some more calmed down, open readings and better edited readings in the future, so it'll be a little more polished and organized. The vlogs, the mystical vlogs, is always going to be like this, though. That's the whole point behind this podcast. Anything that takes a more serious turn or a more polished or professional turn, we're just going to rename something else. I've got other people that may be involved with that too, and I don't want them to be under a channel with my name if they're putting equal work in, you know. One of the people you will see on here is my manager, so we'll have him on here soon. And then my friend who I'm making this for, I plan on either doing a podcast with her or having her as a co-host on this podcast whenever it works for her. But we need to hash out those deeds. I need to go get a pair of scissors because these wire cutters just ain't cutting this plastic shit. In fact, I think I'm going to use wire instead because tying that's going to be a lot easier. I'm kind of finished, so I don't have black wire. Yeah, because it's like stretchy fishing line. I'm getting mad trying to make that work. I don't know what color would work here because these are all not colors for this. I need like black. Black finish. Gold, copper, or silver better for this type of thing. Not that you're really gonna be able to see much of it when I have this done, but I would like to make sure I'm doing it right, so I'm not mixing energies or confusing energies here. And then when we're done, we'll close the session and I will bless this stuff and get it ready to give to them for their Sanheim gifts. Anybody gets to know me, gets close with me, I'll do that with you too. It's a new personal tradition I'm starting. I'm doing Sanheim gifts to all my friends and stuff that are directly related to me. My ghost hunting team members, stuff like that, my roommates, partners, stuff like that. Not coworkers, family, everybody, just the direct people who are involved in my life for the day to day. That might evolve into other stuff, but for now we're starting with that. And also, happy Sanheim, everybody. I know we're a little early on that, but happy Sanheim anyway. Shit, speaking of that, happy Thanksgiving because we're in between Canadian and American. So, wherever you're watching from, if you're not from those two countries, Canada celebrates Thanksgiving now, and we celebrate Thanksgiving right around my birthday a month from now. In fact, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving like every fourth year or so. It was on Thanksgiving last year. And then also, happy Yule. We're going to say that early on. Just get these out there. I don't call it Christmas anymore. I either call it Yule or Xmas because of Futurama. I don't want the Rat the Robot Santa. Robot Santa, voiced by John Goodman. I smoked this fresh thing of herb that I didn't even know I had. It's kind of appeared on my fucking computer desk here, which we'll be turning into some mini altars. I will do another showing of my altar outside of the show, or outside of the short I have, but I have some more stuff I'm doing to finish. Basically, once I actually run out of room on the top of this, my official like main altar, then I'll share that with y'all. I don't mind showing that off. I won't tell you everything that everything represents on there though. Because that is not for you to know. That is for me to know. You can take a look and have your guesses, but I have a lot of things on there that are representations of myself and not just my spirit team, spirit fams too. And if that's not how you do an altar, or that's not how people do their altars, that's how I do mine. Unless I'm building a portable or smaller altar or something specifically for that deity or whatever. But my main altar is going to be a mixture of my deities, my spirit fam, my fams, my guide, me, and anything else that just feels cool to look up there. A lot of honors to my star signs, stuff like that, star seed origins. I got a die cast mbot, little purple mushroom, because what good is an mbot if he's not collecting mushrooms? Alright, we're gonna go ahead. I'll be right back. I gotta snuff this dragon's blood out because I want to save some for this blessing. My ashtray that I actually just put out to use this for. Alright, cool. That'll work. On that, not a joint. And if you all like what I do and wish to donate to the channel, any donations on the Ko-Fi are not going directly into this channel. It's going to go towards making a booking for us to do a full feature length investigation at the Stanley Hotel. I'm looking at you, Selena Spooky Boo, and Chris Collins, because I just learned you guys have never done that. I know I ain't nobody with a following, but if you wanted to collab on me, I live in the area. I know the area well, and we're making money towards that so we could pay our booking. And it would be a fantastic opportunity to collab with you two. Big inspiration for me to do this kind of stuff. And what I'm bringing to the table on ghost hunting is going to be something you guys ain't ever seen outside of like private esoteric shit. I don't do my ghost hunting to prove it's real or to get cheap scares and shit. I'm going to show you how to do a real spiritual healing through ghost hunting. I can heal things that are not ghosts, or not human as well. And that's my goal. In one of the next episodes I'm planning, you'll see what I mean. if we end up getting enough footage worth sharing. The problem is right now I've done 2 locations and not enough footage to put into a good video, and most of the best stuff I got was off camera. So but you'll see, and it's gonna rub people the wrong way, especially people into this, both on the psychic, esoteric, understanding religious, whatever practical side, and on the people who watch this just as an art entertainment form and think it's fake and all that. And in between, this most people are gonna have their feathers ruffled when they see what I'm gonna do. And it's not disrespectful. Everything I always do is comes from love, gratitude, and understanding and respect, with all sides of the spiritual world, not just the light. Because those that walk in darkness are forged by the light as well. Everything is created by the light. The only essence that's truly the opposite of the divine is anything that embodies nothing, or that is created of nothing, which is a hard concept to comprehend. But what you guys call as evil is not as evil as you think, and your concept of evil needs to change. Or it doesn't. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just saying, once you have that understanding, you can open yourself to a lot more stuff, especially in spiritual practices. And you can open yourself to a lot bigger understanding of yourself and evolve yourself, which is a process I've been going through. We will talk about that more on future podcasts, and there are some things that are just going to be left out until I publish this book. So everybody's watching this from a strictly Christian or Muslim standpoint. I love you. I appreciate you. But goddamn, open your minds. I am open for the hate mail, but if you straight up think I'm working with the devil, kinda am. Ain't no such thing either. Lucifer, but not the devil. I do most of my work with the light and archangels, but tonight we're working with a different type of angel, and it's an angel I highly respect. So don't talk your shit. Otherwise, I ain't responsible for what happens to you, because I'm not invoking this. But if you talk your shit while we're using this light frequency, frequencies everything. The thing I'm making. If you talk your shit about this specific energy, then I cannot guarantee your safety. Also, if anybody's watching this out of just mundane curiosity and you want to get into it, or you feel something with you resonate with it or whatever, talk to me, do your research. What I'm doing right now is not for a beginner. Yeah, I'm just putting jewelry together right now. There's a lot more to it than that. A lot more going into this than just making a trinket. Especially with the energies we're working with now, this is not an energy to take lightly. I'm putting that as a safety warning PSA for anybody watching, because you might think I'm an amateur, and in some ways I still am, and I don't do a lot of shit by the book and rehearse. I do my research and I come up with my ideas, but everything I do is a creation of me. And my expression and love and respect and admiration for all of this. And not just admiration either, but an understanding on even an equal term. Some of these things, like what I'm working with, is definitely not my equal. I'll give you a little clip. It is a her, and she's awesome and worthy of your love and respect, because I love and respect her very deeply. Which metal should I use, guys? I'm gonna use the copper. I really like the copper. I don't know why. Copper or gold was really speaking to me. If anybody is watching and can weigh in and knows what we're working with, I'm not saying it. Maybe let me know if I'm right or wrong on this. I don't want any offensive energy in this. Let me also see if I got the chat loaded, because it's been taking a minute for me to get that to load. There we go. Whoever's watching, let me know, please. It'd be kind of similar to what I was doing tonight, building my offering bowl slash. It's not a living thing because I intended it that way, but my fairy garden that I have outside. It took me a little while to piece it together because I wanted to put my own personal flair to it, but I also didn't want to put anything that could offend Fae. And it's one thing when you're working with a deity, but the Fae are different. You're working with an entire civilization. an entire culture, idea, civilization, all of that. Working with this tonight was my first, aside from last night, my first attempt at like opening that door. We're going a little further with that, but we're going to see how this bowl works too. But if you feel the calling to do so, I highly recommend working with them, even though I'm not very new to it. Uh, it's just a weird approach because it's different than working like with any one deity or with your spirit team or something like that, or even with somebody else's spirit team. But the more versed I'm getting, the more well versed I'm getting in Western and Eastern esotericism, really would like to adapt. Celtic, Native American. My influence comes from everything. When I do the Fae, I use a Japanese Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism mantra, and the mantra you're going to see on my channel, my main mantra is going to be Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism. So let's do that right now as a little practice, just to give you an example, and also to get my energy set on how I want to lay out these stones. So let's just do that. We're going to do that for just five mantras. If you know it, do it along with me. Put your own intent into it. Nam Yoho Renge-kyo, Nam Yoho Renge-kyo, Nam Yoho Renge-kyo, Nam Yoho Renge-kyo, Nam Yoho Renge-kyo. Alright, we're done. That's going to be my mantra. I've adapted it. That was one of the first serious practices I ever did outside of Christianity growing up. So I have a lot of respect for Nichiren Daishonin and the Buddhism sect. The thing you got to understand about actual Buddhism, it's not a religion in the sense that you worship anything. Nobody worships the Buddha. The Buddha is not a god. Buddha is an ascended master like Jesus, first of all, and a prophet, but not a god. And in Buddhism, I even think even Taoism, which I'm not super familiar with on its own pure level, but it's different than most religions where you don't really worship a god, man, prophet, or anything like that, but you worship an ideal. And in Nichiren Daishonin, that's exactly what it is, because that's why he was exiled from Japan. It's because he went against the priesthood that was established in Taoist Buddhism in Japan. And I have a deeply personal connection to Nichiren Daishonin, and I've never really took it seriously until I went down this path. And for those of you who want to put it into easier terms, I don't consider myself religious. I'm spiritual. But I take my ideals and beliefs, faiths, and practices from all forms of religion. All gods, all belief systems, all deities. I mean, my main fucking group is my Egyptian gods, and I love them. They are my family. Don't ever talk shit about them. I love all beings, even the ones I don't work with or understand. I mean, I just think that, like, this shit's really cool when you start to really take it seriously, man. I know I sound like a fucking drugged out hippie. I just smoked a bowl and I'm vaping over here. I got a beer over here. A little bit of beer for the anointment, too, with my Egyptian stuff, because Egyptian gods really like using beer for that. But I've also got some leftover Aries moon water. I've also put in it's a fresh offering in my bowl that I've been blessing with tonight with some mixtures to my team, Blue Lotus, some bay leaf. I got some roses in there, some rosemary. And to water spirit, because the post I'm going to do later tonight with the inspirational quote is definitely going to be going out to water spirits of all kinds and types. Also to anybody who is gender fluid or not on the he or she spectrum, or the gay or straight. If you're something that falls in between, the next post that I'm going to do for my quote of the week is going to be honoring you as well. Guess what, guys? God is gay, God is straight, God is also gender fluid, God is also transgender. God is also none of those things. We won't even get all my ideas behind transgender. I want to write that out a little bit more and talk to actual trans people, because I am not, to see how they feel about my ideas. I have a really interesting take, esoterically and spiritually, on what I think trans actually is for the universe. It's not a hateful thing. I love my trans fan. If anybody wants any more insight on that, I recommend reading the book Queer Kabbalah. I need to look at my copy so I can remember the author, but Queer Kabbalah. Really cool take on a modern spin on a more open understanding on modern ideals based on ancient beliefs and techniques too, on esotericism as a whole. Even straight people should read this shit, especially if you do esoteric practices, or if you have a coven or any, or if you're a member of a coven. This is a really cool thing to bring up. The topics are going off the wall because we're talking and chatting. I still don't know exactly where I want to start here. And we're gonna be like that. That's just how it be. What you get with me, especially on these vlogs, because this is my raw, open, early starting vlogs. It's probably this vlog. If I keep it, will always probably be this format. Anything more polished and professional is going to be done in a much more organized, edited, broken down way. But if I continue to do this vlog after we like start to polish this stuff, then I'm always going to keep this vlog as a unedited live stream and then repost it as that. And if you follow this path or the straight and narrow of what you think is Christianity or spirituality, and you don't like what I do, let me know, because I'm doing shit in a way that I am going to fucking make people mad on both sides of the spectrum. Everybody says you got to be this peaceful, calm, and that is very important in this practice. Uh, level-headed, all this stuff. I would strongly recommend that you start that way, unless you're somebody like me, though. It's taken me almost 40 years to understand this, and a lifelong, and literally every experience of my life to actually really understand this stuff in the way that I do it. So if you think I'm a beginner just because this is me new doing this, and a lot of my rituals and practices are kind of new, I've only been doing them a couple of months, but I've evolved a system of this for myself that works for me, and I can help it work for you. But please, especially if you're new to this, do not try a lot of the stuff I do right off the bat, because you're not going to be ready for it. And that's for your own safety and sanity. And if you think I'm joking, fuck around and find out. And that's not telling you to do that. That's just if you think I'm joking and you want to fuck around and find out, fuck around and find out. It's not something I advise. I used to do that kind of stuff with this, playing seances in the graveyard and shit. I'm glad nothing super bad ever happened to me. Again, that's something I can say for the book. I can explain why that worked for me and why it doesn't work for most people. Well, I was looking for my phone. It's over here. I walk away from it. It's right here. Sorry, guys. It's just easier to look it up on the phone. And I'll be honest, I do take a lot of advice from AI on this stuff. It's pretty cool because it has a pretty good understanding of all of the concepts and knows how to break it down into a more open, like, interpretation. And then I'll take whatever AI tells me and whatever I know of the concept or research or books I've done or stuff like that, prayers I've done, meditation I've done, spirits I've talked to, and then I just put my own version on it. So you're not going to see me selling spells too much, but I'm also not going to advertise or use other people's work either. If I come up with one that's solid and it's worth sharing, I'll share it. But for what I do, and the way I do stuff, I don't really want to offer something first of all unless I know it's safe for even beginners to use. And if y'all want to start at ground zero like I did and work your way up, get yourself a tarot deck or have one find you in any way. My story behind how I started with the Thoth deck, and it is my main and favorite deck, and it is now I consider these cards a personal friend of mine, if not a fucking partner. I recommend that. Buy cards or find them somewhere. If a deck finds you in any way, you should probably look into that. That's the best way, in my opinion, to obtain some tarot. But you can buy them, you can have them gifted, you can do whatever. My first deck, I'll be honest with you, I shoplifted that shit when I was like 11. And those cards never really worked for me. I never really knew how to use them, and I don't really think they respected me for how I obtained them. And not because I stole them, but because I stole them from a mom and pop shop without knowing what I was doing, ill intent. I thought this shit was just edgy shit you do to be cool. I thought that even when I first started to take this seriously and get into it recently, but like as soon as I started working, understanding, I was like, oh no, this is an actual therapy tool. I'm not doing that right now. Eventually, well, I am in a way, but eventually I will bring more solid understanding of what I'm doing with those practices to the podcast. But like I said, what I'm doing right now is a little personal, so I just wanted to chit chat and make and you can watch me make it. But you're not gonna see the rites, the enchantments. You're not gonna see any of that. I'm not doing that, and you're not gonna. The closest I'm gonna get is showing you the colors, mentioning it to her, and that it's not on the light side of things. And then, if you know this frequency that we're listening to right now, you'll know what we're doing. Maybe you won't know the exact intent behind this item, and I'm never gonna share that. It is from a place of goodness, heart, love, and wholeness. There is no evil intent in this. I have not done any like sacrifices and none of that shit. I'm not saying you don't have to do that, but you can do what I'm doing without doing that. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that, but again, I probably wouldn't film that unless it was on a different platform. I definitely ain't gonna film myself or post myself doing any kind of voodoo practices, which I don't practice. Anything involving actual sacrifice, uh, I'm not opposed to, but I don't know if I would share. And only then it would have to be from like my heart and soul of a hunter. The whole animal has to be respected and used. Otherwise, you are disrespecting the life you took and the sacrifice it made for you. But as an animal lover, but also a hunter and fisher, I will shoot something in the face if I need to eat it. I am not one of those pacifist spiritualists. I do preach pacifism and love overall, restraint more than pacifism. Because pacifism, I think, is fucking stupid. Always restraint, love. If you could solve a problem by making the person understand you, or even better, become your friend, that's always better. But sometimes a motherfucker needs to find out, and I'm never gonna preach against that. I know a lot of spiritualists do. I don't. And a lot of my guides I have would probably not really be for that either. But well, I don't know how one of them would feel on that because I mean, I think he's all right with it as long as it's like that. Maybe both. All I'm saying is they say violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is. Most of the time it's not, but sometimes it is. And we got sidetracked talkie, but that's okay. That's what the plan was for tonight. Especially with what's going on with me, we're not going to share too much of that because I don't want people to take it the wrong way, and you don't know the story behind it. So we will save that as a tidbit for later, but I don't know if I'll ever share that on stream until I publish the book because if I explain that before the book, it would ruin the magic of the moment. Not really an offering. I just want to know what pairs best with her. It's for craft. Jeez, I spelled it with an E. I can't believe I did that. Okay, copper is what I thought too. Gold is good, but I really thought the copper would look good, and I didn't have copper wire. I just kind of found this little piece of it, so we're gonna use that. It should work for all of this. My throat's getting dry. I might not get as talky as we start to put pieces on the necklace. If anybody's chit chatting, please chit chat. If anybody wants to like, share, subscribe, that would be cool to. Let's push this stuff out there for those who need to see it. This isn't really a healing video, but once you understand what spiritual healing actually is, this kind of is. Not going to be my best stuff for that, but look out. I got some TikTok content planned, and not all of it's just going to be me talking and doing esoteric stuff. I'm also got a couple of cool songs that I've always wanted to do my own version of, and I'm going to be posting some acapellas of those to see what people think. Never done that before like this outside of theater in high school. So, oh, that's a good way to do that. All right. Ooh, I wonder if I should do it that way. Oh, I think I will. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna need my pliers to make this work. Oh, I like that a lot. I'm kind of gonna go abstract with it. Oh, that's gonna look cool. I can make all this work together. It's not gonna be the sigil, but I'm not doing the sigil right now. I'd like to get a better chunk of that. I'll probably use gold for that. Shape? I don't know what shape I should use. I have an idea, fam, but I don't know what shape I should use. Once we get the shape figured out, this is gonna come together pretty easily. I was thinking silver, but I'm trying not to show much of the metal anyway. I still like the copper anyway, but I'm using a silver ring in here, so let's see. Of course, silver. I wouldn't use anything other than silver for something like this if I was going to use that. I highly recommend if you do this with these kind of things, especially when you're doing this, use silver, especially if you're not sure, because it's always a good precaution. Wear a silver ring or press it to your face. By the way, just in case, I know I didn't need to do that, but I just wanted to show some respect. For somebody who knows what I'm doing and you are hell bent on saying it's evil, then I still appreciate the view if you're still watching. Leave a hate comment. Try to educate me on what you think I don't know. Or, what's real for you, because what's real for you is not real for me, and what's real for me is not real for you, because we are all the masters of our own reality. We all attune to the frequencies of the timelines that we attune to. I myself am attuning to a new one as we speak. You're watching me go through a pretty cool That's why I've been filming this like this, because when we come out on the other side, I'm going to want to have something to look back on when all this shit really changed. And again, I'm going to thank my spirit team, my guides, the unseen world itself and everything in it, and the real world itself and everybody in it too. Even all the people even the people I went and protested against on the weekend, I know what their souls are doing, so I still understand. That still doesn't mean I can't be in the here and now and show my support for this moment in history either. The fact that's important, something I've been struggling with a lot lately and only just really starting to grasp the concept. But really living in the present moment will do so many wonderful things for you once you actually start to adapt some of those concepts like in the real. And not just listen to them and understand them like most people do with this kind of stuff. Like I said, I've been reading this kind of stuff for many, many years. But when you actually implement it into your life, oh boy, it's a game changer. Complete and utter. And in one of the most positive ways imaginable. We're put it this way: we're on here podcasting, trying to do my own business, making my own crafts. I never thought I'd be doing tarot reading and making enchanted jewelry and stuff. And that's not even the only stuff I'm getting into. And that's just for me because this has always been kind of my jam. I just didn't really give it a chance. It was like a Y shape. There's so many reasons why I'm doing this. I'm not going to share them all. That would just take away from the the magic that I'm creating here. And you're watching me do real magic right now, guys, by the way. Real magic, real healing right here. I could do this for you. Send me an email if you got anything you want to make. I don't have base rates. I do have some example stuff because everything I do right now is custom made. Um, and not everything I use is like my own creation. Like on the big coyote thing, that's an ornament I bought and then just added some stuff to it. But then also spiritual intent, frequencies, instances, summonings, and then I blessed it with certain deities like coyote spirit, my guide, stuff like that. Same thing, same concept here, but we're not working with coyote spirit here. And I'm also not directly involving my guides because I don't know how they feel about what we're doing. I can tell you in my mind's eye, they don't think they mind too much, but I also don't really want to involve somebody unnecessarily in this kind of stuff. This is a little bit different than what I normally do. Those of you who know the term Dark Chosen One will understand what I mean. I don't like the term Chosen One, but that's what it's called, so. And if you don't believe me, look at my palms, because I got two of these on each palm. Double crescent moon. I never thought that shit was for real either until I looked it up. I guess who one of my main guides is. Why do I think I work really well with water spirits and moon spirits? Guess that one. I've shared it on here before, probably even tonight. I know he's not really a big fan of me giving away his name, but we're at a level now that I think it's mostly because I was still a little too raw a couple weeks ago learning all this stuff before I could say that out loud with full confidence. But I will tell you, not the first guide that came to me. The first guide that came to me is another guide, not even of the same classical background. Both are deities. And yes, I do have personal family guides too. Some people who I love dearly, who I love now and I loved in life. When you see me wear all my necklaces and amulets, yes, those aren't just for show. Every single one of them has been blessed by myself and a member of my spirit team, or multiple members of my spirit team. And I could do the same for you if you wish. Again, email me about the deets and we'll figure it out. I also offer. I haven't made any yet. You've seen the example I have, but I didn't make that one. I found it and took it because I liked the colors because it matched my zodiac, and then I customized it by putting stones and stuff like that onto it to represent my spirit team and my connections and stuff. But I will be offering custom versions of dream catchers. I just need to build up a supply of stuff to make them with. I haven't made a dream catcher in like 20 years. Also offer personal tarot readings, all that kind of fun stuff. If you just want to watch some of my tarot reading content, I do have some in the channel already. I'm not doing tarot reading tonight. I may do some tomorrow, and I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it on YouTube, TikTok, or both. But I will be doing. Actually, we can do one of those today. I can do at least that, even though I didn't light my grounding candle. I'll give you an example today, and I'll do it in the format I'm going to be doing it in the shorts. So it's not like a reading, but what we're going to do is we're going to give you the chance to ask Death a question for the day. And then I'm going to show you the answer from Death. I will not look at it. And then you can resonate with it how you wish. And if you wish to share that resonation with me, feel free to do so. Like, share, subscribe, comment. That's all we're doing with this. Let's ask Death a question off the top of the deck. Ask your question now in 5, 4, 3. And this is your answer from Death. If it's upside down, let me know. I don't think it is, but it might be. I'm not looking and I'm not reading. That's not the point of this. Feel free to share with me how Death responded to you. If you'd like to have daily insights, however you wish to do it with Death, I recommend getting these death cards, oracle cards. I like an oracle deck, but it is and I'm missing a class this week taught by the creator of these guys. I really would like to see it or go to it, but the Memento Mori, fantastic. That's worth a pickup. Beautiful cards too. The artwork is amazing. Hey, now I've figured out my shape. Let's figure out which side we want stuff on. I think right or left. Okay, red should be on the left because that's where the heart is. Or opposite. No, I want to do it one on each side because that's just a really good color representation for what we're working with and the way to do it. And then that will represent the shadow of the moon or the dark moon. Oh, I did. That was probably too close of a giveaway. My bad. Didn't mean to blurt that out there. Sorry. Don't think it was a big deal. Anybody watching the live, thank you. If you're not, I'm going to repost this raw live as the newest episode of my blogs. And this is probably going to be the only raw postings I'm going to do from now on, aside from maybe short form. Maybe some ghost hunting stuff, depending on once I get a good enough stuff to actually, make the channel and do the first episode. That one's not going to be just a me channel. It's going to feature and be ran entirely by my crew, whom you will meet. I would like to have one of my crew members on this podcast as a co-host, at least once in a while. And then my manager also might be jumping on as a co-host every once in a while too. But that's something to look forward to if you're just tuning in. I've been talking about it a lot. Haven't really been being about it, but I have been out on locations doing it. Just haven't got enough worth really making anything with what I'm trying to bring to it. So I don't want just your regular. Oh my God! Something made a sound or moved, and we don't know. And now we came across a demon. Ouija boards are scary and all that. Fuck that. We're not trying to do that. My shit ain't gonna be jump scares, creepy music, and fucking trying to spin it as a horror story. Because yes, it's scary if you don't understand it, but once you do, it's not. We're gonna bring you a side that you've never seen. Hopefully, get people involved with this in a way that's never been done before. Maybe outside of like Ed and Lorraine Warren, but I'm gonna be a lot less biased and scammy than them. I will say no. If you want one of these trinkets for free, not gonna happen. I mean, just the cost of the materials alone. But you also have to realize I'm using my own energy and karmas, and I'm also using my own energies and karmas from the deities and spirits that I work with. So uh, you know, the law of equivalent exchange will apply here. I've talked too much without having a drink, and now I can't say words because my mouth is all sticky and dry. Didn't help that I just smoked some fucking hash and weed. If you're curious about that, I am over 21. I live in a place where it's legal. I actually have a licensed job in the industry. Well, did. But I am licensed in the industry to work in the industry. Hopefully that's changing and I won't need that much in the future, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes, fam. We are just starting a new adventure in life and I am very excited for it and I'm happy to have everybody here with me along for the ride. And if it crashes and burns, you can. If it succeeds or it crashes and burns, either way, we can all say we sit back later on and enjoy it for what it is and where it was. I don't think it's gonna crash and burn though because I'm pretty passionate about what I want to do here. And why does this not have a hole in it? That's weird. Hit or miss with these cheap little jewelry kits you get on Amazon, huh? This one so far has totally been worth the money to me, though. At least for a beginner, for somebody who's never done this or thought they would ever do this. I've made dream catchers and stuff before. I enjoyed that, but I've never done stuff like this. I always thought this was something that either hippies or like little girls did. And what I'm doing is very hippie-like. I enjoy it. It's creative. It's getting my creative juices floating, and it also feels like I'm doing some good with what I'm doing. So I'm just sharing a piece of piece of my soul with everybody in a creative manner. You're gonna see me doing that in other ways too. Like I said. Now I'm just repeating myself. I'm sorry. I cannot patiently find this hole and remember where it's at. What a weird spot to drill that stone in. So those of you who are wondering what specific stones we are using now, we're using one side we're using red coral. On this side I'm using I believe zebra jasper and black crystal. And then for the bottom we're gonna put a couple little spirally trinkets and for a certain representation, a solid white piece of zebra jasper. I don't think I have moonstone in here, and a piece of blue goldstone. I feel like I should put tiger's eye in this as well, but we'll see what it looks like when we get all these on. And then of course we have this silver ring on the main pennant, grasping a red gummy bear that they bit the head off of. Albanese gummy bear. Recommend the brand. Try them out. The only better gummies the only better gummies than those is Sour Boys. Sour Boys, I love you. Please give me a sponsorship. I only want one free thing for a sponsorship, and then I'll just buy everything I need to advertise to keep it going. Send that out to Call Me Chris or fucking Oompaville. Caleb, yeah, I want a Sour Boy sponsorship and a collaboration investigation at the Stanley Hotel. Caleb, you're invited to that too. I might be able to prove to you once and for all that this shit is real. Same thing, Charlie. Fuck yeah. You wanna collab with me, Charlie? I don't even need the audience or whatever. I just want to prove to you because you're so close to find it. This shit is real. I can guarantee you it is. 100%. I used to be a skeptic till I started doing this. Anybody else watching? Invite me to some scary shit. I'll go to the Sally house. I'll go talk to Annabelle. In fact, me and one of my business partners in this, and filming partners and spiritual partners and stuff, and friends, we both actually kind of would like to go see Annabelle. I think it would be a very enlightening experience for all of us. I think we might be able to do something for those entities that nobody's ever tried or understood to try. Uh, I could be wrong, but I'd like to give it a shot. I ain't scared of Annabelle. Not in that way, anyway. I mean, I'm wary. I understand what they are. I also want to go see Robert. I think Robert's chill as fuck. Again, don't mess with this kind of stuff if you're just joking around. You really got to understand and know what you're dealing with or working with or whatever. And, Robert's cool. I like Robert. I got a lot of respect for Robert. I think it would be a cool haunted doll to meet. On camera, off camera. It'd be cool on camera, but if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. I respect it. And I will ask his permission first, which is what you're supposed to do with this kind of stuff. Don't be like Sam and Colby and just trying to push the fucking button and then regret it 2 years later. Get some cancer in your ball sack or some ghost up your ass. Some demons up your ass. Don't go sit in the Sally Pentagram trying to fucking make fun of the shit. when you're offending, you don't know what you're offending. You don't know the kind of karmic contract that comes with that kind of shit. Just warnings, you know. I will be pretty free and open with my stuff and this kind of stuff, the way I talk about it later. And I will be telling people to like do stuff in unconventional or ways that are preached against on both sides of the spectrum. But I also want you to understand that like you need to know what you're doing when you do your stuff my way. Maybe not exactly by the book 100%, but like trust your intuition too. Like, one thing I've learned with all this is a human's intuition almost never fails them. Sorry, this is very tedious. This is a very oddly placed cut on this stone. I'm just using just a loose piece of like twisted wire or copper wire that I found on the ground the other day. And I was like, ooh, copper, I can use this for something. Alright, what should we do next? I say crystal. We started with a crystal. I say we should do anyway, watch. Thanks for watching. Feel free to chit chat if so. If not, if you're watching post live, then thank you for the watch and view as well. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll keep saying that because I'm just trying to push my stuff. Not just because I'm trying to make money and get popular, get my name out there. The main goal is I want people to see it, resonate with it, see what clicks, what doesn't. Because if you resonate with me, then you're the kind of people I'm trying to reach. Especially if you resonate from a place of not just understanding, but like if this hits something with you that you want to explore further, or that you don't understand, or that you think you I don't know all those ideas. If you're like an outcast from society, you've always had these sensitive ideas since a kid, and your thoughts on all this kind of stuff, you've always felt was wrong or different, all that kind of stuff. Please reach out to me. We can have a very long, good conversation, and in general conversation and reaching out and that kind of stuff. All that would be. I'd be willing to even offer you a free tarot reading up to 30 minutes. Live events and stuff are different too. And anytime I offer tarot at a live event, at least right off the bat, will probably be for free. But anything personally on my channel, over an hour, we do have to start hashing some details out because especially if we're using certain cards and decks, it's just an energy exchange that I can't give away for nothing. And you don't go to a fucking therapist for free, right? I'm not saying here I can be your I'm not saying I can be your therapist, but this kind of practice is therapeutic. You do have to approach it with a little bit more lightheartedness too, but I mean, what I'm trying to do is trying to be like that. Like I am trying to be a spiritual therapist. I'm just, we're just getting started and we're talking. And I'm also very unconventional. I'm also doing this and bringing this to in an unconventional way to a hopefully unconventional audience. I don't care if you're conventional or not, but the people I'm really trying to spark a tune with are the people who, got an inkling understanding of this shit, but you think that you're wrong because everybody's telling you you're wrong on both sides of the spectrum. Because I've experienced that so much until I finally just said, you know what, I'm just going to take what I know, what I believe, and what I've learned, and I'm going to put everything together and just do it my way. And since then, my day to day has improved in like almost every facet. Just like the way I wake up, the way I see the world, the way I choose to react to the situations and emotions and things around me. It's no perfect. We're not perfect. It's not like a one and all be all. It's not like I've seen the light and now I'm saved and all that. But it's definitely done a lot for my mental health. We'll put it that way. And if all this shit is fake and it ends up none of this shit's real, which I know for a fact it's goddamn not. But we're putting that out there. I still would love and respect it exactly the same way because of what it's done for me in my day to day. That's just the way I approach situations and things now. It's a game changer, like I said. And if you haven't experienced and wish to be led down that path, I can lead you. I will try my best not to teach you the same way I did, because unless that's what you need, everybody's shit is different. In my opinion, when it comes to esoteric magic, mysticism, stuff like that, there's no right or wrong way to do this stuff. I mean, there most definitely is a dangerous way to do this shit and a safe way to do this shit, but there's no right or wrong way. Unless maybe you're working with like the Fae, you gotta be kind of you gotta get to know the Fae you work with before you take risks. Put it that way. I would say the same thing with like archangels and even fallen angels or angels, demons, whatever you want to call them. You need to know who you're working with. You need to know how to take risks and stuff. I should be. Well, I am. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I already am using. Why can I not find these stones? Hold. Why are you not holding the middle? Twist that tighter. Don't want to go too tight or it'll snap. It's gotta go tighter than that, though. Okay, we're gonna sit here and do some twisting for a minute. Eventually, we're gonna be showing you a pretty cool little piece here. I almost have it done. I wish I had a skull bead or something like that, or an actual skull to put on this now. I just don't know why. Skull imagery would be cool. I like skull imagery a lot, always have, and I feel like it would be really fitting on here. Not necessary, but it'd give me a personal flair to it, and I think it would be appealing to the person and deity I'm making this for. And yes, I honor all deities, gods, prophets, stuff like that, unless they're like, not real. And yes, I honor Jesus too, and those of you who actually meditate in Him, hung out with Him in your mind's eye a little bit, you might understand that Jesus is really chill and He's got a pretty uh, unexpected sense of humor. We'll put it that way. I like that better, actually. Or not. Yay or nay? What do you think? Yay or nay, fam? Should I keep that or should I put that more wider one on top on that side? I want to leave the wire poking out like that because it looks cool, but I don't want anybody to get poked on it. This gonna be fun, alright? I might have to get a different stone if I can't make this one work because this hole's awkward as shit. We should twist these two because if I drop this and then they go flying everywhere, then I'll have to grab a flashlight to find them. So at least just do that for now so I can work on the bottom part. Yeah, this is becoming a bad ass little piece. I just don't know exactly where I'm going to integrate it into the necklace. I need a drink. I might take a little breaky poo too, because it's getting later, but I've also inadvertently developed myself some extra me time for the time being. So we can take that me time and keep streaming because that's what I want to do. And if I'm too talkative and annoying, well, fuck you. It's my stream. Go away. Also, if you be under 18, my streams are not recommended for under 18. I do not age restrict my streams, but what I do, especially with tarot and the specific decks I work with, like the both, is definitely not recommended for anybody under 18 in a public setting. Not saying don't try this stuff if you're that young, but again, know what you're getting into, know what you're doing. These are not inherently dangerous. Unless you're using a both deck without knowing what you're doing, I would say you are doing some things that could fuck you up. Maybe not in this lifetime, but for the most part, though, tarot is just basically ink and cardstock. Like I explained to my friend, like this isn't inherently like a dangerous magic. It can be. It can also I explained it the same too. Like if you're willing to do this, but you won't touch a Ouija board, you're using the same shit, different way, but you're tapping into the same kind of energy. You're watching my video, tapping into the same kind of energies. I used to be against Ouija boards until I started ghost hunting during my spiritual journey, and now I'm just like, I will agree with other psychics and stuff. You do need to know how to use them, or at least understand the intent that they create, because they leave a big door wide open. You can do that with anything. It's just Ouija boards are just a little bit more of a signal. I'm also not afraid for something dark and negative and nefarious to come through in my intent. Oh, you'll get possessed. I ain't fucking with my spirit team like that. And if they try, I do take protections with me and stuff too, because I don't do all your basic protections that you see in ghost hunting videos unless it's for people who work with me who do not have the connections I do. So yes, with my other crew members who don't practice this, yes, I always have them. I always bring sage for them. I bring selenite, stuff like that. I'm gonna get some black tourmaline to do with that. I use some purple. I use purple amethyst and specifically, I use a combination of all three: smoky amethyst, or smoky quartz, purple amethyst, and black tourmaline for protection and stuff like that. I don't use holy water. I use moon water for my holy water. I also have some Florida water here that I was hooked up with. I've been using. Let's go late night. We're gonna stay up real late tonight. Fuck it. And if anybody would like advice on crystal and stonework, I'm willing to give advice. I may not be the most perfectly well versed in it because I don't really study it. I just kind of know how to do it. I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes I do have to like look up like specific types of stone with specific spirits or deities, just to know I'm not going to offend or I'm not getting something mixed up, because I do add my own flair and belief to it too. And the last thing I want to do is do something that I want to create out of a place of love and respect and understanding, and then end up offending. I would just feel bad, even if it wasn't a bad repercussion. I would just feel like an imbecile. Which I've probably inadvertently done many times in my life, especially messing with the stuff not knowing, and then even when I was getting into it, even now, I mean, I take a very avant-garde approach to this type of stuff. Even with today's understanding and thing, it's still a lot of my approach is still very much frowned upon by the generic, straight, mostly man side of this stuff. But yes, I'm a man. I am not straight. When you see my altar and my specific representation with my Rockies flag of the path of the Sephiroth, you would understand that. I need to make an alternate version of that. I don't have a dark tree representation. I would like to get one. Those of you who think the dark tree is not worth following, or people shouldn't put that kind of faith into it, a tree cannot stand without roots. The roots pump the lifeblood waters nutrients all throughout the system. So, no, that path is very much an important and valid one too. I take it from somebody who's walked bowls, and in some ways probably will always continue to embody a little bit of bowl. That's why they call me by my starseed name, which I'm not sharing right now, but yes, I do have a starseed name. Eventually, if I haven't shared it before, I will share it. How do you know your starseed name? You need to meditate. I guess the best way to do that would be to access your Akashic records. You don't have to, but that is, the straight and narrow of it. And if you don't believe in that, try it. Don't try it from a place of wanting to do it out of proving prove me wrong or anything. No, like really try it. Take it seriously. Do it more than once. Do proper whatever it is for you. You don't have to do all the yogi techniques and incenses and breathe. Breathing is actually. I don't always use the breathing technique, but it is. I highly recommend doing it. It's very very effective. It does work, and even if not, it's also a really good way to just to relax yourself and reduce stress. It's also a really good way to use that technique when you're like doing like any like hyperactive like running or like long distance jogging or hiking. That breathing technique will be very useful. I'm just saying in through your nose, out through your mouth. Usually hold for specific counts depending on what you're doing. Some people say seconds, but I usually go by the Thoth method because that's how I was taught by Thoth himself to, breathe in for specific heartbeats and stuff, and then release. And on the release, also sometimes you want to go, hey, slow hint there. Go read your emerald tablets. Go meditate. Maybe you hook up with somebody like that too. I don't know. All I can say is I do know Thoth on a personal level, and he is my fucking homeboy. Him and I love Thoth with a lot of my heart. I love all my guides equally with all of my heart, but like Thoth and I have like a fucking kinship. It's weird. Was never expecting that. It's interesting if you come from a place of kind of understanding this but not really doing it seriously and then just doing it and then trying it and then it becomes like it did for me in serious. Like I've met things in my spirit team that I would have never even imagined of, like the combination of my spirit team. If I were to explain it to you, you'd be like, yeah, dude, how do you make that up? Or did even know who some of them were? And I'm pretty well versed in this kind of stuff. I still probably don't know my full spirit team. I'm not sure if anybody ever really does. At least, maybe not at my level. I should do more deep diving on that myself. I probably shouldn't share all the information about it. I know I shouldn't share all my information about Thoth, but I love Thoth so much. It's hard not to just tell the world how cool of a guy he is. Guy, not guide. He's a cool guy too, but he's a cool dude. He's done a lot of shit for us humans. I'm not saying other people haven't. Like I said, I hang out with Jesus sometimes too. Jesus is pretty fucking cool. But I'm talking about Jesus, not, not what you've been told Jesus is. And even Christians say, "Oh, his miracles were a metaphor." Nope. That shit that Jesus did was not metaphorically done. That was not written as a metaphor. That was direct, instant, real manifestation at like a god tier level. And if you don't believe me, just go meditate and ask him yourself. Same thing with all this. You don't believe me in any of this? Give me a meditation. Give me some serious meditation, some serious pondering, some serious stuff. Like really try this. And if that doesn't work for you, I could recommend other things that I guarantee you will. But you take a very big risk when you do those ways, and I'm not gonna tell you what that is. Because I really don't recommend you start your spiritual journey that way unless you already live a certain lifestyle. And if you live that lifestyle, it's not really one you want to brag about. So all I'm saying, especially for the people who think that all this stuff is like only good if you do like white magic and shit. No bullshit. Even white magic can be fucking evil. It's like a gun, It's got the intent and the design that it's supposed to do, but it all comes down to who's holding it and pulling the trigger. Yes, I said gun, not pew pew. I'm not saying fucking pew pew. This is being cheeky. I'm an adult. We're talking about adult topics, and we're all adults here. Come on now, fuck that. This ain't YouTube kids. I should be able to do that without repercussions, ad revenue, all that shit. And again, I deal with ghost hunting, deities, death, stuff like that all the time. I'm going to say words like murder. I'm going to say words like suicide. I'm not going to fucking sugarcoat it for your sensitivities. If that rubs you the wrong way, this is not the channel for you. If you multiple pages on politics. Ask me outside of here. Maybe I'll entertain that with you. But this is a politic-free please. We don't need to put those vibes that low. I'm already bringing the vibes down there with the way I was talking just now, so let's bring that right back up. What did I do with that white stone? I think I'm going to replace it with a different one because it just is not going on to this thing. I've tried so many times. It's like, it's either going or we're getting a different piece. No, it's still not going on through no fault of the stone because these pieces are very unevenly cut off here, and I just don't know when to stop twisting it. Everybody laugh at my fucking beginner jewelry making here. I'm pretty sure there's some girls in third grade who can shit better quality. I should be using this thing, but they don't grip very well. I should grab the one from my Gundam modeling kit. It would work better. Yeah, it's that one fucking piece, man. Can't get it flat enough. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut that right off with these terrible wire cutters that don't actually cut wire. That's the only fault I'd really give this kit is the wire cutters it came with were like straight ass. Straight butt poo poo caca garbage. Anything you want to put there, not very good. They're good for plying and gripping, but like the wire cutter part is absolute crap. I have another pair over here, same thing. Don't even try cutting these wires with like holding on with one hand because you're gonna slice yourself up trying to do that. Alright, we're gonna get this. I have this where I want it. I just need to get these on so I can put the ends together on each side and then figure out how I'm gonna shape the top of that. We're so close. If I can get this white stone, you're holding me up. Okay, this is it, fam. I'm gonna put it out there now. If the stone don't go on this attempt, we're changing it for a different one. Or I might just have to Dremel this hole bigger. I don't know. I'm not really comfortable dremeling, doing a Dremel on a stone this small myself. Okay, so that didn't work. So that doesn't need to go on there. How's about? Oh, why do I have stones in here? What is that? Oh, okay, that's just the color of the sticker on the bottom. Oh, I really like that one. Oh, I really like that one. I also really like this one. I actually might use that one on the bottom. I'm gonna use both of these. In fact, I think I'm gonna use another red as well. Should we use root chakra instead? Root chakra or more coral? What do we think? The chakra is just a little too shiny, a little too positive. Let's go with the coral. Ooh, I like that one a lot. Coral, and I did want to put a tiger's eye in this. Where do I want to put the tiger's eye? Which one do you like? We went right in between, so we're not going to put a tiger's eye in there at all. And I'm just going to take that as a solid piece of advice. Thank you. Yeah, I've got other ideas, but we can do this for later. This is going to be pretty much good how it is. Now, did I ever grab new zebra? What was I doing? Oh, it was these. Okay, it's not these. I don't want to do this. Shoot. Hang on, fam. I gotta look for a better stone for the representation that I'm going for. I wish there was moonstone in this. I'm not using my moonstone, that's for me. I only have a couple pieces that I haven't done anything with. I want to use a solid white one of these. Let's see if I can find one that has a decent hole. I think that might be better. is there orange in this rose quartz? What the heck? I want to do something really interesting with those two pieces. I do like the watermelon red too. I feel like I should put one of those on there, but it doesn't feel quite as like what I'm really going for. I'll hold off. That can be used for something in a future project as well. This is just the starter kit. I'm gonna get more stuff. I also live in Colorado where I can go to like gym stores and stuff and buy this stuff at pretty decent prices almost like everywhere. You guys like what I do? I offer custom creations. I might make base creations once I get a store established. We shall see. We're just getting started on this, so if you would like a custom creation with enchanted, with whatever you want to enchant it, blessed with, please let me know. Then we'll see what we can do. Give me an email. Let me know what you wish. I'll get back to you on that, and we can start the discussion there. Or we could do a tarot reading to find out if there's anything that the cards might say that would be beneficial for you. Or if you just want some generic healing stuff, chakra healing, stuff like that. Dreamcatcher is just a generic dream catcher. I can personalize it however you wish. Everything I do will be blessed in, at the very least, some kind of moon water. I've used up all my Aries supermoon, but we're going to make some more new moon Libra in the Libra tomorrow. Okay, I have like one piece of wire too many on this for this to really go. That's the problem. So, I wonder. I don't know how to untwist the whole thing. How do I get that to go a little fast? I just gotta keep twisting it for a minute, guys. We're gonna, I guess, take a twist break. It's been going quite long. How long have we been going? We might have to call it. Let me look. I'm on the wrong thing. Oh, an hour and a half? Nah, at least 2 hours for a live stream vlog. I think is fine. Especially since I ain't got anything else to do right now. I'm enjoying talking to the void because there's nobody in the chat. Or future watchers, yeah, we could call y'all future watchers. Somebody will be watching this shit eventually, or I'll just delete it because I'll have better stuff to share anyway. I don't know. How does this keep untwisting even though I keep going the same direction? Alright, this is bugging the crapola out of me. So I'm just going to grab this from the base of where this bead is, and we're just going to keep twisting until I can actually make some difference on this. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to switch to a whole different setup, but it's really going to bug me because I put a lot of time thinking about this. Finally came up with this idea. It worked really great up until I got to this bead. This is how this bead go, guys. Almost every project I've had has been like super smooth up until you get to like one or two beats in one area, and you're like, oh, I really got to think about this. Sometimes you got to start the whole thing over again multiple times before you find the best and easiest way to do it. But hey, that's life too. Ooh, preview for what I'm bringing onto the TikTok with that one. I won't sing it, but I'll give you an idea of what we're going with because I'll just say some of the lyrics. It's Frank Sinatra, so you should already know. That's life. Oh, I want to sing a little bit. I guess we're gonna. Not doing the whole thing yet, but let me know how this works and how you think of this work with copyright. I'm trying to do my own like cover of it, but it's gotta be a cappella because I don't have any music. I don't want to steal the music that exists already for this song. I'm trying to put my own spin on the melody too, so it's that's life. That's life. And no, that's right. That's what all those people say. You right, I shot down in May. That's lying and funny as it may seem. This is just an experiment. We're not. This is the full the full version that we're doing. But let me know what you think. Some people get their kid stomping on a dream, but I don't let them get me down, 'cause it's final word that keeps me hanging around. That's life. That's life. Ah, I forgot the words there. Hang on. See, we're gonna work on that a little bit because I have an idea of what I'm gonna do with that. We're gonna do it on probably a TikTok and a YouTube short. See what people think. Do a doo-doo version of that. I'm gonna start with cover songs, and then we'll possibly branch off into originals if it becomes a thing I like doing. I don't think it sounds bad, even when I was not really trying just now, but. And then the other one I'm trying to do is, I'm not even sure if I'm really going to give you a preview on that one because I need to practice it first. This is just not. I almost have it. I just need that last little tip, like, evenly twisted. Yeah, well, I guess we'll do the chorus real quick. So we should do the chorus. What it say? I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up and down low. I gotta add a little bit more of a lower octave to it, I think. I've been up and down, over and out, but I know one day. Okay, that was way too close to the Sean James version. Each time I fall down, ending up flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. Yeah, there we go. I like that. This is probably gonna fail, guys. We spent all this time trying to make this work. I think there's just too thick of a wire for this. Somebody's a very tiny Dremel. Mystery hand. You you wouldn't happen to have a very tiny Dremel? I'll see if we can make something work here. I don't really want to stop using this copper piece I'm using, but I've hit a stumbling block. Alright, fam, well, I wasn't going to show the final piece of this anyway, but I will probably take a picture of the final product. We're going to go ahead and end stream because I'm getting close to finalizing this and I'm not showing the final parts of this process on stream. So with that, enjoy watching. Have a good one. I will be bringing some short form content probably tomorrow and maybe some open tarot reading depending on how I want to edit that. Until then, enjoy watching my side and some stuff behind me for like while I close this out. I'm not putting on an ending song. We're just stopping.